Today we will see the three types of current that flows in the BJT, that IC, IV and IE. Okay, for the three terminal there are three currents, and we will see all the three currents that are flowing and how they are flowing. So we will this BJT chapter is bit lengthy. Still we will move slowly so that understanding is needed much more thing. That is the main point. Okay, without understanding this completion of this subject will not mean anything. So we will move slowly. So let's see how this collector current that is flowing. Yesterday we came to know that these electrons throughout this length x, they are decreasing like this till the edge of this collector base region. Now as I told earlier yesterday also, that because of this VCV, which is nothing but positive for collector and negative for base. Okay, this is positive for collector side, this is negative for base side. As long as this voltage is positive, what it will do? It will sweep all those electrons present over here to the collector side, and those electrons they swept to the collector side, they are collected, those electrons, and this collected electron will constitute the current. That current is called IC. Because of this collected electron, that current is called IC. This IC is same as the IN that we read in the last class. What is IN? That is the diffusion current of electron. This is the diffusion. This is the current that is coming, and this is the diffusion electron. Because of this diffusion electron, we found that IN. What is our IN? Our IN that we found in last class is nothing but AE Q DN then minus NP naught upon W. Okay, this is the value of IN that we read. Why this negative sign is coming? This negative sign is for as our X, that is from left to right, from this side to this side, our current that will flow in the opposite of that direction, the opposite of the X direction. That's why the negative sign, that is minus NP naught. If we will write the positive sign, means we are taking our X and our current both are in the same direction. Okay, so what will be our IC? And this AE Q DPN and IC equal to IN, that is nothing but it is also AE Q DN minus NP naught upon W. Okay, this is our collector current, that is because of the collected electron that are swept back because of this VCV. Now what is our NP naught? We read yesterday in the last class that NP naught is nothing but NP0 equilibrium NP divided by into e power VBE upon VT. So it will become AE QDN NP naught e power VBE upon VT upon W. I am neglecting negative sign because I am taking my X direction and my IC direction both are in the same. That's why I am not putting negative sign. If I put negative sign, means actually what is the flow of current? This is the flow of current from right to left, but this is the X direction from left to right. That's why if I will move along with X, along with my length, then I will write positive sign. And once I am writing negative sign, means I am writing correct. That is the usual convention. That is from right to left. Okay. So this is our IC. So this can be written as IC is nothing but IS e power VBE upon VT. Okay. So what is our IS? Our IS is nothing but saturation current. We also read earlier what is saturation current, IS. In our semiconductor diode we read what is our IS. So this is the saturation current. So this IC is nothing but IS e power VBE upon VT. So what is our IS? From here you can see, if you will take this part, this will give me IS is nothing but AE Q DN NP naught upon W. Don't confuse between this NP naught and NP of naught. Both are different because NP of naught is nothing but NP naught e power VB upon VT. This is for the equilibrium condition, NP value for equilibrium. Okay. And this is the function. This is the NP naught means function. So this is our IS. So you can see here my IS, that is, okay, one more thing before going to that. What is our NP? Here we are talking about this A and P side. So what does mean by NP? Np is nothing but number of electron at p side or at base. So this Np is nothing but Ni square upon Na. Okay, where we know N into P is nothing but Ni square. Since we are talking about our p type, p side means it will become Np, it will become Pp. Electron at p side, holes at p side. Now, what is the majority carrier over here? This is the p type material. So our majority carrier is nothing but holes. What is the minority carrier? That is electron. So this is the minority carrier. So here we are founding this minority carrier, which is nothing but Ni square upon Pp. And I can write this holes at p side. That can be written as Na, because this is p type material and this is n type material. This side p type means it is combined with trivalent, n type means it is combined with pentavalent, trivalent means 3 electron. So there is a shortage of electron. That shortage of electron, what it will do? It will accept this is, because of the shortage electron it will accept. So for p type material Na will come. That's why for Pp this Na came into the picture. Okay. So I can write in place of Np naught, this Np naught is nothing but Ae q dn Ni square upon W Na. Okay, I think this point is clear. Now our Is, it is directly proportional to the area of this base emitter junction. This Ae means it is the area of this base emitter junction. Okay. Also, it is inversely proportional to the W. W is nothing but this width. This is the IES value. Saturation current depend upon this area of this junction and width of the base region. Now, the range of IS, it varies from 10 to the power minus 18 ampere to 10 to the power minus 12 ampere. This is the range. This value is very less. Saturation current value is very less. Also, you see here our Is, that is directly proportional to Ni square. Is is directly proportional to Ni square. What is Ni? Ni is the intrinsic concentration which depend upon temperature. We read earlier, Ni value depend upon temperature. It means my IC value will also depend upon temperature. So I also told earlier how our IC change with temperature. With 5 degree rise in temperature, my Is value doubles for every 5 degree rise in temperature. It means my Is depend upon temperature. As the temperature will increase by 5 degree, my Is value will become double. Okay. So this is the collector current. Now we'll see how our IC that is related from this AE. Let's take one more point. You see here our Is, since this is Is, so my IC is nothing but, here it is my IC, you see, this is my IC, AE, this much. Okay, so here our IC that is depend upon AE or not, you see, IC, this collector current depend upon emitter base junction area. So for a fixed VBE, if my VBE is fixed, if my emitter base junction become 2 times, EBJ2 is becoming EBJ1. If I am taking 2 devices, here is one device, here is one device. For both device, VBE is constant, But here the emitter base junction is this much. Here the emitter base junction, suppose the width of the emitter base junction is nothing but the double of this one. Then my IC2, it will become 2 times IC1. This is an important relation. Remember, for for 2 devices having fixed value of VBE, my IC, that is collector current, will double if the area of this emitter base junction double. Okay, there might be some numerical based upon this equation. Okay, so now this is all about our collector current. Now we see our base current, how base current flows and what are the components. Okay, so our base current, this IB, that occur because of 2 components. What are those? In the first video I told there are some holes that are injected from the base region to the emitter region. So because of that hole injection from base to emitter, this hole injection, this will give me some current. So this IB will give me a current IB1 because of this holes are injected, that is from here to here. there is a second component of IV. Because of that also IV produced. What is that? You see, here the electrons that are diffusing from this region to this region, like this electron are diffusing. As this electron are increasing throughout this length, they are recombining with the holes that are present. As yesterday I gave one example. This is the number of holes that are present, and suppose there are electrons that are coming like this, and this electron, they what are doing? They are combining with the holes, and they are decreasing the positive charge. Means the positive number of positive holes, they are decreasing because of this recombination. Because after recombination they are becoming neutral. These holes, they are not there, so the concentration that decreased in this base side. So I have to again I have to inject holes, I have to supply holes to make this circuit balance. Okay, because of recombination the number of holes that decreases, those number of holes that should be supplied from outside circuit like this through this circuit, so that it will maintain a equal charge. So that hole supplying holes will give me a current IB2. Okay, so what are the two components? One is holes that are injected, that is from this side only, from base to emitter. That is not because of this external circuit. Because of this injection of holes from this side to this side, that is giving a current IB1. And as these electrons are moving from base to collector, they are recombining with the number of holes. That means it is decreasing number of holes. So to maintain that equality, we have to supply again that much number of holes. So because of that holes, again the IB2 is coming. So my total IB is nothing but IB1 plus IB2. This both IB and IB2, IB1, IB2 will proportional to e power VBE upon VT. That will depend upon this VBE, this VBE value and this thermal temperature. Okay. So this our IB, it is nothing but our IC upon beta. How you see? The IC current that flows from right to left in this way, like in the direction of the pen. Okay, in this way, this is the IC direction. Also my IB, that will also flow in this direction, because holes are moving in this direction, means current will be in this direction. Electrons are moving from left to right, means current will be opposite to that direction. So overall my current in the base will be in this direction, and this current is nothing but some part of this, some fraction of this collector current. That's why I have written our IB is nothing but IC upon beta. This beta, it is called transistor parameter, or also it is called transistor parameter, or it is also called common emitter current gain. Okay, why its name is common emitter current gain? I can write my beta is nothing but IC upon IB. My beta value is a ratio of collector current to base current. Since there are three terminal, one is emitter, one is base, one is collector. Here my emitter is common to both, means the circuit might look like this. This is emitter, this is base, this is collector, and my emitter is common to both. Okay, I am just giving one example. This emitter is common to base with this voltage. This emitter is also common to the collector. This is collector. You see, this is the common connection between emitter and base. This is the common connection between emitter and collector. So you see, my emitter is common. That's why the name common emitter current gain. It is the current gain, output current upon input current. This is the output current. Output value what will be there. This is the input. This is the input. This is the output. That's why this is the beta is nothing but IC upon IE. So my beta value, it ranges from 50 to 2000, or it might be a very long value, means it should range from 50 to very highest number of value, 200, 500, 1000, like this. Okay, so this beta is called transistor parameter, or it is called common emitter current gain. As our IB depend upon IC upon beta, so how I can write our IC? What I found in the previous case, what is our IC? Our IC is nothing but IS e power VBE upon VT upon beta. And what is our IS? IS we found AE Q DN NP naught upon W. In place of NP naught, what we wrote? Ni square upon W upon Na. This is our Is we found, and e power Vbe upon Vt, and this beta is there. So this is our Ib, base current. This base current is nothing but just Ic upon beta, and this is our Ic value, and this is our Is value. I just put all those values. Beta value, it depend upon two factors. What are those? This beta value depend upon the width of this base region and the doping concentration of the emitter and base, that is nothing but Na and Nd. Okay, so my beta depend upon two factors. What is that? This beta will depend upon two factors. One is the base width. What is the width of the base? Accordingly my beta will change. And the doping concentration of Na and Nd. Generally this beta value is very less than Ic. Okay, sorry, this Ib value is very less than Ic. That's why my beta value will always remain at high. If let's take my Ic is nothing but 100, okay, and my beta is nothing but, let's take from here I took 50 for example. So what will be my Ib? Is nothing but 150, nothing but 2. So you can see the relation between Ic and Ib. If this is the 100 ampere or microampere, whatever it may be, my Ib value is 2 milliampere or 2 microampere, like this. Okay, so my beta value depend upon W and this doping concentration of emitter and base. Na, that is applicable for the acceptor, means for this side, this is Na. What is Nd? The doping concentration of this P side. Okay, so for a large value of beta, for a high value of beta, what are the condition? My W should be very less, means the width of the base, that should be very less, and my Na upon Nd value also small. These are the two conditions. When they will apply, then my beta value will be very high. How? If the W value is very less, means width is very less, at that case my beta will be very high. Second, my Na divided by Nd will be small. It means my Na values should be small than Nd. It means the doping concentration of this base region should be less, and the doping concentration of this N side should be very high. Also I told in the last video that the doping concentration of emitter should be high, the doping concentration of the base should be very less, and the doping concentration of the collector should be moderate range. Okay, that's why my Nd value should be very high, this value should be, this doping concentration should be very high, this doping concentration should be very less, and also this width will be less. If this condition will be satisfied, then my beta value will be very small. Okay, now we will see the emitter current. Here one current that is coming because of base, that is, this is the base current and they are moving in this direction. This is the collector current that is also moving in this direction. Since this is Ib, this is Ic, both are coming in the same direction, and the one current that is leaving from this terminal, that is equal to IE. So what will be my IE? My IE is nothing but the two current that are coming. So my IE is nothing but Ib plus Ic, because at a node the number of current that should be inserted or that should be input, that number of current should be at the output. Okay, that number of current that should be removed. So the two component of current that are entering at the BJT and one component of current that is leaving from the BJT. That means this is the leaving current, this is the incoming current. So both incoming current will give me IC. Okay, so this IE, it is also a factor of IC. That is nothing but IC upon alpha. IC upon alpha. Okay. So what is our IC? IC is nothing but Is e power Vbe upon Vt upon alpha. Similar to the previous case that beta came into the picture, beta is nothing but common emitter current gain. Here can you tell what is our alpha? Our alpha is nothing but IC upon IE. So here which term is missing? B base is missing. So this alpha is called common base current gain. It is a current gain of output current at collector and input current at emitter. But which terminal is the common? This is the diagram for this alpha. Let's take. This is the base which is common to both. Here see, base is common to emitter side, base is common to the collector side. That's why it is a common base and a current gain. Okay, so this is the alpha. This is also one transistor parameter like beta. Like beta is a transistor parameter. Here is alpha is nothing but the common base collector gain, common base current gain. So my alpha and beta, there is a relation between alpha and beta. My alpha is nothing but beta upon 1 plus beta. Okay, my alpha is nothing but beta upon 1 plus beta. Usually my beta value, let's take, it can be 50, it can be 100, it can be 200, it can be 1000. Whatever value you take, my alpha value will always come less than or approximately to 1. It will never become 1, but it will be less than 1, but that should be close to 1. Means my alpha value always be in the range of 0.95 to 0.99, like in this range. You take value of beta as 100. So 100 upon 1 plus 100. That is, sorry, 1000. 1000 upon 1001. This value will never touch 1, but it will remain approximate to 1. So always whatever is the value, because of this addition of 1 in the denominator, my alpha value will always be in this range 0.95 to 0.99. Okay. So a very small change in alpha. Okay, here it is the alpha is nothing but beta upon 1 plus beta. So how to find the relation between beta in terms of alpha? You can cross multiply. Alpha plus alpha beta is nothing but beta. Alpha equal to beta into 1 minus alpha. My beta is nothing but alpha upon 1 minus alpha. Okay, so this is the relation between alpha and beta, and it's conversely beta and alpha. This is the beta and this is the 1 minus alpha in terms of alpha. So if I change my alpha a very small fraction, a very small amount, I will change my alpha. So let's take 0.95 was there, I will change it to 0.97. This small change will give me a big difference in beta. For let's take for 0.95, my beta value is nothing but 70. Let's take 70. For example, for 0.95 it is 70. For 0.97 this value might come 100. You see a very fraction of change, 0.02, and here it is changing a factor of 30. Okay, so remember, for a small change in alpha, my beta value will change a very large fraction. So this is the IC. What we found here, IB is nothing but IC upon beta. So remember these two. Using these two, there will be numerical that you are going to solve in this chapter. Okay. So this is all about the three type of current: collector current, base current, and emitter current. In next video, we will see that the circuit model for this BJT, how to represent BJT in terms of circuit model, and we will do some numericals also. Okay.